The night air felt thicker once they left the church. Every shadow looked like it could move. Every sound felt closer than it should. Raphael leaned heavily on Cynthia. His strength came in waves. Strong one moment. Gone the next. They did not take the main road. They moved through narrow streets. Service alleys. Places where no one looked twice. Pastor James drove without headlights for the first few blocks. Not fast. Not slow. Careful. Raphael watched the city through the back window. Neon signs. Christmas lights. Families walking together. The normal world felt distant. Like it belonged to another lifetime. He thought about Lauren. About Evan. About how easily they had spoken about his death. Not with anger. Not with hatred. With planning. That hurt more than betrayal. Cynthia finally spoke. Your wife has been preparing for months. She said. I noticed the changes. Extra questions. New locks. New routines. She looked at Raphael. She was testing how much control she had. Raphael closed his eyes. The signs were there. He had ignored them. Busy men miss quiet warnings. The car stopped behind an old warehouse. Pastor James cut the engine. This is where we separate. He said. Raphael opened his eyes. Separate. Pastor James nodded. If they follow me. They do not follow you. He handed Cynthia a folded piece of paper. Names. Addresses. People who still believe in truth. He said. Not favors. Raphael wanted to argue. But. His body said otherwise. Cynthia helped him out of the car. The cold metal wall pressed against his back. Pastor James met his eyes. You trusted the wrong people. He said. Do not make the same mistake again. Then he drove away. Disappearing into the city. Silence returned. Cynthia led Raphael through a side door into the warehouse. Inside it smelled like oil and dust. Old machines rested like sleeping animals. A single bulb lit the space. This is where my cousin works. Cynthia said. He will not ask questions. Raphael sat on a crate. His hands shaking. He had never been this dependent on anyone. Cynthia handed him water. Small sips. Slow. Your body is fighting. She said. Do not rush it. Raphael nodded. He stared at his hands. Hands that signed papers worth more than this building. Now they could barely hold a cup. What if I die anyway? He whispered. Cynthia did not soften her voice. Then we make sure they cannot touch what comes after. She said. Those words grounded him. Outside. A car slowed. Passed. Slowed again. Cynthia moved instantly. Lights off. She pressed Raphael down. They waited. The car engine idled. Then drove away. Raphael released a breath he did not know he was holding. They found us. He said. Cynthia shook her head. Not yet. But they are close. Raphael felt anger rise again. I built everything. He said. And they are trying to erase me like a mistake. Cynthia looked at him. People erase what threatens them. She said. Her phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. She read it once. Then deleted it. What? Raphael asked. They are checking hospitals. She said. They think you collapsed somewhere. Raphael laughed quietly. A bitter sound. Lauren always preferred clean stories. Cynthia crouched in front of him. Listen to me. She said. Tomorrow you stop running. Raphael looked at her. Tomorrow we collect proof. She continued. Security footage. Transaction logs. Medical records. Everything she touched. Everything she changed. Raphael felt clarity cut through the weakness. I know where the backups are, he said. Hidden servers. She never knew. Cynthia nodded. Good. Because once we move, there is no turning back. A door opened at the far end of the warehouse. A tall man stepped in. Cousin Marcus. Cynthia said. Marcus looked at Raphael. No recognition. No fear. Just understanding. I owe Cynthia my life. Marcus said. That is enough. He brought blankets. Food. A cot. Simple things. But they felt like survival. Raphael lay back, staring at the ceiling. For the first time since Christmas morning. Sleep came. Not peaceful. But necessary. As his eyes closed, one thought stayed clear. Lauren believed he was weak. Confused. Almost gone. That mistake would cost her everything. Raphael woke to the sound of rain hitting metal. Soft at first. Then harder. For a moment he forgot where he was. Then the pain returned. The weakness. The truth. He sat up slowly. His head throbbed. But the fog felt thinner. Cynthia sat nearby. Watching. Always watching. You slept, she said. That means your body is winning. Raphael managed a small smile. It felt unfamiliar. Marcus moved quietly through the warehouse. Locking doors. Checking corners. No one spoke loudly. This was not a place for noise. Cynthia handed Raphael a phone. Old. Unregistered. It only calls 3 numbers. She said. Mine. Marcus. And Pastor James. Raphael turned it over in his hands. Freedom with limits. Good. He said. Cynthia leaned in. Today we become ghosts. She said. They moved before sunrise. A different car. No plates anyone would remember. Houston looked different in early light. Less sharp. More honest. Raphael kept his head down. A cap pulled low. Every bump reminded him his body was still poisoned. They stopped near a storage facility. Rows of gray doors. No cameras facing the street. Raphael unlocked one unit with a key he had memorized. Inside. Servers. Hard drives. A life hidden from his own home. Lauren never knew. Because he never trusted completely. Now that instinct saved him. Cynthia photographed everything. Files. Dates. Transfers. Names appeared. Shell companies. Offshore accounts. Evan's fingerprints were everywhere. Raphael felt rage settle into focus. This was not a crime of passion. It was an operation. Phones buzzed. Messages from unknown numbers. Lauren searching. Evan panicking. Raphael smiled for the first time. Let them. He whispered. Cynthia paused. Do not enjoy this yet. She said. Power fights back. They copied everything. Encrypted. Duplicated. If one drive disappeared, 10 more existed. They left the unit and locked it like nothing mattered. Next stop was a clinic. Small. Private. Nurse Kayla met them at the back. No greetings. Just urgency. Blood drawn. Samples sealed. This will show. She said. But timing matters. Raphael nodded. Across town. Lauren stood in their kitchen. Her smile gone. Security feeds replayed nothing. No guards. No alarms. Raphael had vanished. Evan paced. He should be dead, he said. Lauren turned cold. Then someone helped him. Evan froze. Cynthia. Lauren's jaw tightened. Find her, she said. Back in the car. Cynthia felt it. The shift. They are moving, she said. Raphael leaned back. Then we move faster. He dialed Pastor James. The plan begins, he said. Not love turning lethal. The rain returned. Heavy. They stopped at a safe house. Empty. Anonymous. Raphael collapsed onto the couch. Exhaustion hit hard. Cynthia covered him with a blanket. He caught her wrist gently. You saved my life, he said. She looked away. I did what was right, she replied. Outside. A car slowed. Then stopped. Headlights cut. Cynthia's body tensed. Raphael stood despite the pain. If they come, he said. Cynthia shook her head. Not today. A message arrived on the burner phone. Unknown. Stop hiding. We can fix this. Raphael laughed softly. Lauren always believed problems were negotiations. He typed one reply. No. The car outside drove away. Cynthia exhaled. Tomorrow, she said. Everything changes. Raphael stared at the ceiling. For the first time. He was no longer running. He was hunting. Morning came without peace. Only clarity. Raphael woke before Cynthia. His body still weak. But his mind sharp. Fear had burned away. What remained was focus. He stood by the window watching the street. Normal life moving forward. Unaware that wars were being planned quietly. Cynthia joined him. Coffee in hand. Black and strong. Today they will push back, she said. Raphael nodded. Today we let the truth breathe. They moved carefully. Different routes. Different cars. The first leak hit quietly. A financial journal received files from an anonymous source. Transaction trails. Hidden accounts. Shell companies tied to Evan's name. Within hours phones began to ring. Lauren watched the news on mute. Her hands clenched. Her plan was unraveling faster than expected. This was not damage control. This was exposure. Raphael sat in a dark room watching data flow across a screen. He felt alive in a way he had not felt in years. This is only the beginning, he said. Cynthia checked her phone. Messages from neighbors. Friends. People asking questions. She ignored them. Power does not scream. It watches. Another package went out. Medical reports. Purchase records. The same compound found in Raphael's blood. Sent to a federal health office. No names attached. Only evidence. Nurse Kayla called. Voice low. Labs confirmed it. She said. Slow-acting toxin. Measured doses. Raphael closed his eyes. They tried to make my death look natural, he said. Cynthia looked at him. They underestimated how long truth survives. Across town. Evan slammed his fist into a desk. You said this was clean, he shouted. Lauren stayed calm. Because panic leaves fingerprints, she said. But even she could feel it. The shift. The loss of control. Raphael received a message from a journalist. Off record. Requesting a meeting. He smiled. That is the one. He said. Cynthia raised an eyebrow. Careful. He nodded. I know. They chose a public place. Too many eyes. Too many cameras. Raphael sat with his back to a wall. Cap low. Cynthia across from him. The journalist listened. Asked only necessary questions. When the meeting ended, the journalist said one thing. This will break wide. Soon. As they left, a black SUV rolled past slowly. Cynthia noticed. Raphael noticed. They did not react. Let them watch. Raphael said. Back at the safe house. Pastor James called. Pressure is building. He said. People are asking why you are missing. Raphael replied calmly. Tell them the truth is coming. Night fell again. Lauren stood alone in the mansion. Christmas decorations still glowing. Mocking. Her phone buzzed. A single message. Unknown. You should have finished it. Her breath caught. Back in the safe house. Raphael stared at his own reflection. Thinner. Older. But alive. Cynthia stood beside him. Tomorrow. She said. They will try to strike back. Raphael met her eyes. Let them. He said. I am done being silent. The call came just before dawn. A blocked number. One ring. Then silence. Raphael knew what it meant. Pressure was turning into action. Cynthia was already awake. Bag packed. Keys in hand. They will try to scare you. She said. If that fails, they will try to end it. Raphael felt no panic. Only resolve. They moved again. Another location. Another borrowed identity. Houston looked endless. But danger always finds shortcuts. Pastor James met them briefly. In a parking lot behind a closed store. They know you are alive. He said. And they are angry. Raphael nodded. That means the truth is working. A legal contact called. Breathless. Subpoenas are coming. He said. Your brother is being questioned. Raphael closed his eyes. Not relief. Not joy. Just inevitability. Cynthia watched him. You okay? She asked. He answered honestly. I am still here. By midday. News broke wider. Headlines without names. But details too sharp to ignore. Lauren turned off every screen. This was no longer controllable. A man approached Raphael at a gas station. Too close. Too casual. You look lost. The man said. Cynthia stepped between them. Eyes cold. We are not. The man walked away. But not before Raphael saw the signal. A small tap on the ear. They are testing. Cynthia said. Raphael felt the weight of the hunt. He called the journalist again. Release it. He said. That night. The story went live. Not about a missing billionaire. But about a wealthy family poisoning one of their own. Social media ignited. Speculation exploded. Lauren watched her name trend. Then Evans. Her phone rang endlessly. She did not answer. Raphael sat in silence. Listening to the storm he had started. Cynthia placed a hand on his shoulder. This is the point of no return. She said. He nodded. At midnight. A message arrived. From Lauren. Come home. We can talk. Raphael deleted it. Minutes later. Another message. If you do this, everyone you love gets hurt. Cynthia saw it. Her jaw tightened. She already started. She said. Raphael typed one reply. You failed. Outside. A car idled. Too long. Lights off. Engine low. Cynthia moved fast. Back door. Now. They slipped out into darkness. Moving through yards. Over fences. A voice called Raphael's name. Too close. A gun clicked. They ran. The night swallowed them. Somewhere behind. A plan was collapsing. And someone was losing control. They did not stop running until their lungs burned. Until the city sounds faded into nothing. Raphael leaned against a wall. His chest rising fast. His hands shaking. Cynthia watched the street. Counting seconds. Reading silence. That was not a warning. She said. That was an order. Raphael nodded. They crossed the line. They moved before sunrise. No bags. No traces. Marcus met them under a bridge. Engine already running. No questions. Just action. The city woke behind them. Traffic building. News spreading. Raphael listened to the radio. His story everywhere. Speculation growing. Names circling closer to truth. Lauren was losing control. A call came through the burner phone. Unknown. Cynthia answered. Listened. Then ended it. What? Raphael asked. Your brother. She said. He is talking. Raphael closed his eyes. The first crack. By noon. A warrant was issued. Search orders. Financial freezes. Lauren locked herself inside the mansion. Phones off. Staff gone. Power feels strongest. Right before it collapses. Raphael sat in a quiet room. Hands steady now. I want to face them. He said. Cynthia studied him. This ends only one way. She said. He nodded. I know. They chose daylight. Public. Visible. A courthouse steps. Cameras everywhere. Raphael stepped out of the car. No hiding. No running. Gasps rippled. Phones lifted. A man who should have been dead. Standing alive. Inside. Lauren watched the broadcast. Her face drained of color. Evan sat across from investigators. Sweat visible. Words spilling. Raphael walked forward. Slow. Calm. Cynthia stayed close. Not behind. Beside. This was no longer escape. This was return. He spoke quietly to the cameras. Truth does not rush. He said. It waits. Then he walked inside. The doors closed behind him. And the hunt changed direction. The courtroom air felt colder than the streets outside. Not because of fear. But because truth strips warmth from lies. Raphael sat still. Hands folded. Breathing steady. Across the room. Lauren entered. Eyes sharp. Face controlled. She did not look at him. Not once. Evan was brought in next. Smaller than Raphael remembered. Older. Broken. Their eyes met. Just for a second. Evan looked away first. Evidence moved like a tide. Financial records. Medical reports. Witness statements. Cynthia watched from the side. Invisible to most. Essential to everything. The prosecutor spoke calmly. Methodically. A pattern emerged. Slow poison. Controlled access. Manipulated security. Not a crime of emotion. A crime of precision. Lauren's lawyer objected often. Too often. Each objection sounded weaker. Then Cynthia stood. The room shifted. She spoke without anger. Without drama. She described the measurements. The powder. The trash bag. She described Christmas Day. Silence followed her words. Heavy. Unavoidable. Lauren finally looked at her. Hatred exposed. Cynthia did not flinch. Then the lab results were read. The toxin. The dosage. The timeline. Every dizzy morning had a number. Every weak step had proof. Raphael closed his eyes. Not from pain. From release. Lauren whispered something to her lawyer. Panic leaking through control. The judge ordered a recess. Outside. Cameras waited. Questions screamed. Raphael stepped forward. I am alive. He said. Because someone chose to do the right thing. He turned slightly toward Cynthia. And because silence is not loyalty. Inside the holding room. Lauren broke. This was supposed to be quiet. She said. You were supposed to fade. Raphael met her eyes. You never knew me. He said. The gavel struck. Charges filed. Custody ordered. Bail denied. Lauren was led away. Still silent. Still proud. But empty. Evan followed. Shoulders collapsed. Cynthia sat down for the first time. Her hands finally shaking. It is over. She whispered. Raphael shook his head gently. No. He said. Now we rebuild. The courthouse emptied slowly. Like the city needed time to accept what had happened. Raphael stood alone for a moment. Feeling the weight leave his chest. Not all at once. But enough to breathe. Justice did not feel loud. It felt quiet. Almost fragile. Cynthia walked toward him. Her steps unsure. Like she did not know where she belonged now. Raphael turned to her. And for the first time. He spoke without urgency. You saved my life. He said. And I ignored you for years. Cynthia shook her head. I did what anyone should. She said. But Raphael knew that was not true. Most people look away. She did not. Outside. Reporters asked about money. About betrayal. About revenge. Raphael answered none of it. Instead he spoke one sentence. Evil survives when good people stay silent. Then he walked away. Weeks passed. The mansion was sold. Not for profit. But for distance. Raphael moved into a smaller home. Quiet. Unprotected by illusions. He rebuilt his company slowly. Transparent. Clean. The board changed. So did the rules. Power was no longer about control. It was about accountability. Cynthia was offered money. Enough to disappear. She refused. Instead she asked for something simple. A chance. She said. Raphael gave it without hesitation. She became part of the foundation. Not as a symbol. But as a voice. Someone who understood how danger hides in plain sight. At night. Raphael still woke up sometimes. Heart racing. Body remembering poison. Cynthia understood. She always did. They talked. Not about fear. But about meaning. Raphael returned to the church one evening. Sat alone in the back pew. He thanked God. Not for wealth, but for survival. He thanked him for opening his eyes. Across the city, Lauren sat in a quiet cell. No mirrors. No control. Power had left her the moment truth arrived. Evan wrote letters. Apologies that arrived too late. Raphael read none of them. Forgiveness did not mean access. Years later, Raphael stood on a stage. Not as a billionaire, but as a man who had been broken and rebuilt. He told the story. Not of betrayal, but of courage. Not of money, but of choice. He ended with the truth that saved him. The most dangerous enemies are not strangers. They are the ones who smile at your table. And the strongest heroes are often the ones the world refuses to see. In the crowd, Cynthia listened quietly. No spotlight. No applause. But she knew. And that was enough. The story did not end with power. It ended with awareness. Because survival is not about winning. It is about waking up. And sometimes, Christmas is not about gifts. It is about getting your life back.